Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. And just like that, the crypto market is in the red once again. Look at this, guys. We got some double-digit losses down around here. Bitcoin down 9.36%. Ethereum down 11.62%. XRP down 9.96%. And just a sea of red. Some of these cryptocurrencies have lost 10, 11, 12, 13% in the last 24 hours. And the market cap down to about 228.2 billion. And so what's causing this sell-off? Is it the beer flu? Is it something else? This is Bitcoin on the daily, and we can see even just yesterday, right? We saw a huge decline for Bitcoin. Compared to the gains that we've had, this is a little disheartening because, we saw gains start to occur at the beginning of the year. And we thought, 2020 is going to be a great year. We hit some resistance for Bitcoin at about 10,005. And guys, you can see XRP was following this trend as well, right? We saw XRP climbing up to about 0.347 cents. And now we're seeing the decline for XRP as well. And this is happening in the entire space, as you guys saw from CoinMarketCap. I'm just going to put it here on the hourly. XRP trying to come back here, find some resistance down here at about 21 cents. But the rest of the space, let's look at Ethereum. There's Ethereum, okay, Litecoin as well. Everything has been coming down over the last several hours. Here's Tron. We've got XLM. Right? These trends are all looking similar, and of course, they're all following the biggie, Bitcoin. So nothing to fear with regards to XRP, as I keep mentioning, because fundamentally this coin is sound. And some people are saying that the Bitcoin drop was due to something called the PlusToken and a scam that was surrounding that, and not necessarily that pesky beer flu. Bitcoin began its sudden crash due to another giant sell-off from the PlusToken pyramid scheme. Analysts are suggesting that the BTC USD lost $8,000 in support. So according to various online commentators citing blockchain data, participants in the $2.9 million scheme are again attempting to rid themselves of their BTC. So apparently this is a scheme that's been going on. A pyramid scheme of sorts. And down here's a little chart with the on-chain volume from PlusToken versus Bitcoin price listed on Huobi from April 2019 to December 2019. And you guys can see some correlations here. The PlusToken shut down by law enforcement, major cash out here, and we saw downward pressure. So is it slamming Bitcoin price? I mean, again, it's so hard to pinpoint these things because of the anonymity involved. We don't know who has how much Bitcoin. But we do know whales exist, and we do know there are several of them in the space. Several self-proclaimed whales who own, who got into Bitcoin early on and are manipulating the market, and by extension, manipulating the rest of the crypto space, even if you hold another token, because we know, guys, all these cryptocurrencies follow Bitcoin. This is the only reason why everything's in the red. You can see it. The proof is right here. You can see it in front of you. Okay, a sea of red in the crypto space. And how do we handle this, guys? How do we keep our emotions in check? You have to look at the cryptocurrency you hold, whether it's XRP or anything else, and think to yourself, does my coin hold value? Should I be worried about this? Well, the fact is, if we know Bitcoin's pulling down the market, and your coin is going down along with Bitcoin, but you have confidence in your coin because your coin will derive value from a problem it solves, then this is a good time to buy. I saw this tweet here from John Luciano at LuckyJohn_XRP on Twitter. New report indicates Ripple has sold more than 5 billion XRP in 27 months. And so it just outlines the whole process with the escrow and going through the numbers very specifically. Guys, I'll leave the article up here for those of you guys who want to read it further. It also links here to the XRP Arcade. So apparently they found their info from XRP Arcade. He's got a great section here on the website with regards to the escrow. He's got all things XRP and Ripple related on this website. So if you want a great resource for that, check out XRP Arcade. But here's a stat I found interesting. Ripple has unlocked 27 billion XRP in 27 months. and returned $21.6 billion back into escrow. And why I think that's important is because $27 billion over 27 months. So you got to think it's been over 2 years since this is happening. A lot of us have been in this space for about that time, ever since the bull run of 2017, maybe a little before, maybe a little after. But the fact of the matter is the escrow was designed to release the billion automatically every month, and $21.6 billion has been returned back to escrow. To me, what that signifies is there is clearly not enough demand for the XRP ecosystem right now to fulfill all that $27 billion. So the XRP that is not needed goes back into escrow and will be released at a later point when businesses will need to use it more actively. So this is a good snapshot of kind of where we're still at with regards to this space. And again, guys, this could change tomorrow, right? If there's a liquidity crisis, if some black swan event tends to crash the market, kind of like what's happening right now, let's say, and governments need to jump on board and find a way to source liquidity instantly because everybody has their assets tied up in real estate or other types of investments. How are we going to do that? And more importantly, how are we going to do that across borders? Well, we've already got a solution. It's called XRP. So again, I'll link this in the description. I'll also link the XRP Arcade article here in the description as well. And guys, Ant1 brings up a really good point. After following Ripple for many years and watching it connect and seeing the use case of the XRP token, how it works, helping banks move money and any currency in 3 seconds, I can say 100% that this token will be number one. And I know I don't have to tell you that, but what I found funny was this from Charlie Shrem. Now, you guys know Charlie Shrem. He was big in the Bitcoin community back in the day. Now he does this podcast, and this caught my eye. The Ripple Army won't like this. Peter Todd talks nodes on today's Untold Stories podcast, and it's not pretty. This on Ripple blew my mind. So few people have maintained a copy of this data that literally a whole chunk has gotten lost. So he's criticizing the way the nodes work on the XRPL. That aside, I listened to the podcast because I was interested to see if he had more information. They don't really explain anything other than this exact statement, which was mentioned by Peter Todd, who is also very active in the space. He's a programmer. But here's the thing that I found interesting. His podcast is sponsored by BitPay, and Charlie Shrem says that he's been using his BitPay card to pay with his Bitcoin everywhere he goes. Now, I found it funny because when we go back to Ant1's tweet here, he says, because of what XRP can do in 3 seconds, this will be the number one token. And it just reminded me of the podcast and how Charlie Shrem's saying that he needs that intermediary so that he can use his Bitcoin to pay for stuff because he can't use Bitcoin to pay for anything directly. It takes too long. And so this is how companies are thriving like BitPay to find these band-aid solutions. It is a good option if you have crypto that you want to spend, but at the end of the day, we're going to need a token that can settle instantly. And this is just another way of hiding the fact that Bitcoin, the first cryptocurrency ever created, cannot settle fast enough for payments. Anyway, thought I'd mention that for you guys, just to kind of put things into perspective here. Bitcoin maxis really trying to tout on Bitcoin for the reasons that so many 15-year-olds love punk rock. I've got to even admit, I love punk rock. The music, it's high energy, high power, but it meant something different to me when I was 15 years old than it does now. Right now, I can listen to it and have a good time. But when you're 15 years old, your ideology, your view of the world is so basic in a lot of ways. You don't see the bigger picture. You have no concept. You have no context of the world. And so I feel like these Bitcoin maximalists are still living in this reality where they're going to overthrow the government. They think that anarchy will one day reign and we will live in a chaotic world. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Most likely not. Nevertheless, not going to perseverate on that for too much longer. Guys, did you see this? Mr. Poole on Twitter posted this very cryptic 30-second video. Okay, I'm going to leave this tweet in the description, obviously. You can watch this interesting video. You can pause it. You can see what you can make out from it. Rippled here on Twitter took a couple screen grabs. Take the telephone. Does that say telephone? I don't even know what this one says here. Okay, but you remember when Brad Garlinghouse, and he's mentioned it a couple of times now, has compared the XRPL to the invention of the telephone. Well, some people are linking the telephone and they're tracing its origins and some tweets that David Schwartz put out. And so let's just go through this. So Optimal77 posted this, a history of the telephone. It's about a 20-minute video here with regards to the history, Alexander Graham Bell, so on and so forth. And a screenshot here, rental or purchase of telephones estimates. You got to remember back when the telephone began, we had to get people interested enough to want to have a telephone. In some communities, there was only one telephone for the entire community, and they would share it. Okay, we didn't have individual telephones in our houses all at once until later on. Ian Northing posts this, good find, buddy. A new technology is about to make life easier. Make life easier with a telephone. These got to be from the early 20th century, if not the late 19th century. Bell's telephone. So these are all advertisements here. Take the telephone into your home. Inquire at any post office. So are you seeing some parallels here to the XRPL and the phone? When we look deeper, we can see that there was a bit of a challenge too to get people on this network. The same way we're kind of paralleling it with what Ripple has to do today to get people on the XRPL. Crypto Amigo 456 posts, well, here's the video he used with some fun facts. Telephone was invented on March 10th, 1876. On March 8th, 2020, David Schwartz believes the iPhone XR needs to be improved. And he links the screen grabs here to that effect. David Schwartz here, wondering why Quora merged his answer from his previous thing to this thing. But he's talking about the iPhone XR battery for whatever reason. Interesting connection. Mr. Pool's video and David Schwartz's tweet both discuss mergers. Merger of a company with the best transmitter with a company possessing the best receive. In other words, the best Q&As. Several DLT networks are getting married to form the new communications infrastructure. And this is really interesting. We have a screen grab up here with JP Morgan and the consensus merger with blockchain. Okay, we've got this. Meet INATBA, a super team of Ripple, IOTA, Cardano, Consensus, R3, and others. This back from April 2019. Why Saudi Arabia keeps partnering with blockchain startups. And of course, guys, that big riddle from Christmas 2018 from the big guy himself, Bearable Guy 123. Maybe this coin pool makes more sense now than it did then. Crypto Amigo goes on to say, in addition to interoperability, the merging of these systems provide more rapid overall scale, but most importantly, it provides redundancy should any single network be compromised. He says you'll notice also in Mr. Pool's video a lot of references to the role that telephone network played during a global calamity, also its role in rebuilding after a catastrophe. So watch that video, guys, on the telephone. It is really interesting if you do have some time today. I will link this tweet thread in the description if you are more interested in analyzing it in more detail. But what do you guys think? Do you think Brad Garlinghouse just came up with the example of the telephone off the top of his head and we're just reading too much into this? Or do you think that the people at Ripple really have done their research and understand that what their company is doing is going to be as big as that invention over 100 years ago? I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to be eligible for the Ledger Nano X giveaway. I'm giving one away on March 16th. But you got to be subscribed, guys. I wanted to hit 30,000 by March 15th. We did it. You have to be subscribed to be eligible to win. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.